Over the past few decades, wage inflation and employment growth have caused payroll to increase significantly. At the same time, safer workplaces, robotics, advanced machinery, and automation have made workplaces safer, translating to workers' compensation claims and their associated costs not keeping pace with these payroll increases. The result, a steady, long-term decline in workers' compensation loss costs relative to payroll. Lower workers' comp costs compared to wages is great news for the industry as a whole. The downstream impact is that loss costs for some classification codes have dropped to unprecedented levels and are so low that it becomes difficult to make precise changes year to year. Imagine a class code with a loss cost of 4 cents. If the smallest change that can be made is by a full cent, that means any adjustment is at least a 25% change. There's no way to make smaller, more precise changes within the current system. These situations are becoming more frequent each year as payrolls continue to rise and loss costs continue to decline. Office workers are the most impacted. More than 33% of classifications within the office and clerical group have a loss cost of 10 cents or less. This includes classification code 8810, office employees, the largest class code by payroll volume. Some codes have even hit the 1 cent mark. At this level, loss costs can't go any lower under the current system. These numbers tell a powerful story. Numerous key class codes, which cover a large segment of businesses, are impacted, making it essential to address this problem immediately. How is NCCI tackling this issue? After a thorough internal and external assessment, it became clear that increasing the number of decimal places on loss costs to 3 was the optimal path forward. Most independent bureaus are joining NCCI in implementing this initiative, and communications with stakeholders are ongoing to support readiness for a smooth transition. By adding an extra decimal place, it's like breaking each penny into 10 smaller parts. Now, instead of being constrained with 1 cent adjustments, we can make changes as small as a tenth of a cent, allowing for much more refined adjustments. NCCI is filing loss costs, rates, and expected loss rates extended to 3 decimal places for all classifications, starting with filings made next filing season in July 2025. With effective dates of January 1st, 2026 and subsequent. Unlocking the power of more precise changes opens up the possibility for creating additional class-related adjustments. Consider the previously mentioned Class Code 8810 and Class Code 8742, salespersons. Both are big classifications with low loss costs, but are they too big? It turns out that they are. These are commonly used office and clerical classifications that are used across various policies to reflect employee operations that are common across many businesses. In fact, these classifications are used so often that they appear on 1 out of every 2 policies written. The challenge is that NCCI studies have shown that these class codes are being used to not just classify employees, but also entire businesses. Analysis shows the underlying risk for these class codes differs when classifying a whole business versus just a portion of it. So, what's the solution? Splitting these codes up will recognize these differences. Splitting a classification is all about fairness. Imagine a group at a restaurant, and everyone orders different items. If one person ordered a side salad and another had a full meal, splitting the check evenly wouldn't be fair. Splitting these classification codes ensures that each business pays a loss cost that better reflects its specific risk and cost profile. Some might ask, why now? When you break down a class code at 4 cents, how different can the resulting loss cost be? Under a 2 decimal system, the answer is not much. However, with the addition of the 3rd decimal, we can refine these codes and recognize the difference in their loss experience. These initiatives aim to promote equity by accurately pricing each specific risk. By taking this step toward greater precision, we are also preparing for the future. These changes will result in a healthier and more resilient workers' compensation system.